In the ancient imperial city of Ho, Vietnam, tourists flock to photograph the crumbling palaces and walk along the perfume river at sunset. They post pictures, collect memories, and fly home. Most of them anyway. But there's something the tour guides don't mention. Something about the woman you might hear crying near the Tien Mu Pagoda after dark. They say if you record her weeping, if you capture her sorrow in any way, through video, audio, or even just in your memory, she doesn't stay in Hue. She follows you home. This is the story of what happens when grief becomes contagious. March 2023. Jessica Chen, a travel vlogger from Toronto with 340,000 subscribers, was documenting her Southeast Asia trip. Her Vietnam episode was supposed to be the highlight. Ancient architecture, street food, and local ghost stories for engagement. On her final night in Hue, her guide told her about Ngoy Jan Ba Koch, the Weeping Lady, a woman who lost everything during the war and drowned herself in the perfume river. Now her spirit wanders the old city, weeping for her lost children, her destroyed home, her stolen future. Jessica's eyes lit up. Ghost content performed well. She convinced her guide to take her to Tien Mu Pagoda after hours, camera rolling, night vision on. At 11:47 p.m., she heard it, sobbing so profound it seemed to come from the earth itself. Her camera captured the audio perfectly. A woman's voice, breaking with such raw anguish that Jessica felt tears running down her own face without knowing why. She posted the video 2 days later from her hotel in Da Nang. The title, "I recorded a real ghost in Vietnam." It got 1.2 million views in 48 hours. By the time she landed in Toronto, 847 people had downloaded the audio from her video. The first report came from Manchester, England. A woman named Sarah Mills had watched Jessica's video while making dinner. That night, she woke to the sound of someone weeping in her bathroom. Not crying, weeping. The room. It sounds like someone grieving the end of the world. You'll wake up to find her standing at the foot of your bed, sitting in your living room, reflected in your mirror behind you. Still crying. The weeping lady didn't kill them. She filled them with her grief. Decided to test his theory. Against all advice, he watched Jessica's original video with professional recording equipment, determined to document the progression scientifically. His research journal, published posthumously by his colleague, makes for disturbing reading. Day 1, heard weeping at 2:17 a.m., emanating Day 5. Her weeping is constant now. I find myself crying during meals. I can't remember the last time I cried. She just kept weeping. I realize now. She doesn't want comfort. She wants witnesses. Day 12. She's standing at the foot of my bed. She hasn't turned around yet. I don't want her to. Or Jessica Chen finally took down her video in May 2023, but it was too late. It had been copied, re-uploaded, and shared across platforms. Thousands of people had downloaded the audio. TikTok users were making it into a challenge. How long could you listen before you started crying? The phenomenon spread from Hue across the world. Through fiber optic cables and satellite signals, traveling at the speed of light, modern technology had given an ancient grief a highway system. Ghost hunting channels flocked to Hue, hoping to capture their own footage. Most succeeded. Each new video created more vectors for transmission. The Weeping Lady was no longer confined to one city, one country, or even one timeline. She existed simultaneously in Hue and in homes across 6 continents. Support groups formed online for people experiencing the phenomenon. They shared coping strategies, warned newcomers about the stages, and tried desperately not to think too deeply about what they were experiencing, because thinking about they spoke about the nature of grief itself, how it exists outside of time, how trauma doesn't stay in the past, it echoes forward, touching people who weren't even born when the original wound was inflicted. The Weeping Lady wasn't just one woman, she was every woman who lost everything. Every mother who watched her children die, every person whose world ended while they kept living. She was collective trauma given form, and in the digital age, trauma could go viral. One recovered witness, a programmer named David Okonkwo, wrote, "She showed me her face. And it was everyone, every person who ever grieved. I saw my grandmother who survived the Biafran War. I saw refugees I'd never met. I saw futures where my own children mourned things I couldn't protect them from. Her face is a mirror that shows you every possible loss. And once you've seen it, you can never forget that we're all just one tragedy away from becoming her." Jessica Chen posted her final video in July 2023. She looked exhausted, aged beyond her 26 years. She apologized for sharing the original recording. She explained that she still heard the weeping every night, that she saw the woman in every reflective surface, that she wept constantly for reasons she couldn't name. "I'm at stage 3, she said, voice hollow. "I don't have much time before she turns around, so I need to warn you. This isn't about ghosts or supernatural revenge. It's about the weight of grief and how trauma demands to be witnessed. The Weeping Lady isn't evil. She's just infinite sadness, and sadness spreads." She leaned closer to the camera, eyes red and desperate. "If you've watched my original video, if you've listened to her weeping, if you've thought too deeply about her story, check your periphery. Listen for crying in your home, because she's probably already there. And the only way to slow her down is to stop engaging. Imagining what her grief sounds like. Feeling sympathy for a woman who lost everything. Stop